Welcome to part 2 of decision making. So now let's start attempting the question. Let's find out in which order they entered the building. So now we know on a day on which Sam enters the building second and Tom enters in third. So there are two positions, one in front of Sam and one behind Tom. Sam is always earlier than Joanna. This means Joanna must occupy the fourth position. That leaves Joshua as being the front position. So now let's remember one of the observations. No suspect ever enters or leaves the building in the same position. So, for example, since Joshua entered the building first, he cannot leave the building first. Let's find out in which order they would have left the building. Now, we must understand Sam must leave the building first in order to make sure that Joanna leaves after Sam. In this case, because Joanna cannot be fourth and she cannot be third in this case. So, looking at our options, we know that there are 3 spots afterwards. Joshua must be the third person to leave, and these leaves the second and the fourth position. Therefore, Joanna leaves the building third. Let's try another question. Max, Glenn, T, and Nate run in a race. Glenn finished after Nate, T finished after Max, Nate finished one position behind Max. There was a tie for one of the positions. Which one of the following statements must be correct? For these types of questions, we must try and figure out the order in which they ran the race. So, looking at the third rule, we know Nate finished one position behind Max. So in this case, Max is leading. Then we know Glee finished after Nate and T finished after Max. However, we are unsure if Glenn and T tied the race. So, in this case, we must find out which is definitely correct. T tied with Glenn, we are not sure. T tied with Nate, we are not sure. Glenn finished 2 positions behind Max. We are not sure because he could be third. So, Max finished first is the correct answer. Let's try another one. Rooney, Lance, Shane, and William are university students, where 2 go to University A and 2 go to University B. 3 of them have one of the following part-time jobs: assistant at a tutoring center, cashier at a fast food restaurant, and retail worker. The cashier and the retail worker attend University B. Rooney is an assistant at a tutoring center. Shane attends University A. Lance has a part-time job and does not attend the same university as Rooney. Which one of the following statements must be true? For these types of questions, we must find out who attends University A and who attends University B. Looking at the first line, we know the cashier and the retail worker attend University B. Rooney is an assistant at a tutoring center. This means he must attend University A. Shane attends University A given in the question. This means that Rooney is the assistant and Shane does not have a part-time job because we know the cashier and the retail worker attend University B. Now, looking at the statements, which of these must be true? The true statement will be Shane does not have a part-time job, which is true. Our next question will be, a company employee generates a series of 5-digit product codes in accordance with the following rules. The codes use the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and no others. Each digit occurs exactly once in any code. The second digit has a value exactly twice that of the first digit. The value of the third digit is less than the value of the fifth digit. If the last digit of an acceptable product code is 1, it must be true that the first digit is 2, second digit is 0, third digit is 3, or fourth digit is 4. For these types of questions, we must figure out how the series of the 5-digit product codes could be presented. So we know it generates a 5-digit product code. So let's write up 5 spaces where the numbers can go. Given in the question, we know that the last digit of the code is 1. So if this is true, what must the other numbers be? The value of the third digit is less than the value of the fifth digit. In this case, we know that 0 is the only number which is smaller than 1. And the third point says that the second digit has a value exactly that of the first digit. So the only numbers that can be used are numbers 2 and 4. This leaves A as the right answer, which is correct. Our next question, Tom, Jerry, Vernuk, and Kushan have ages ranging from 10 to 19 years old. 3 of them have a favorite different type of swimming stroke, and the fourth does not know how to swim. Jerry likes butterfly and is 1 year younger than Tom. Vernuk is 10 years old and likes neither freestyle nor backstroke. Kushan does not like freestyle, none of them like breaststroke. Which of the following must be correct? For these types of questions, let's try and figure out which swimming stroke they like and their ages. So let's represent Tom's name with T, Jerry's name with J, Vernuk's name with V, and Kushan's name with K. Looking at the first option, we know Jerry likes butterfly and is 1 year younger than Tom. So let's write down that Jerry likes butterfly. Now, looking at the options, we know that D cannot be option because Kushan likes butterfly. This is incorrect since we know Jerry likes butterfly. Looking at the ages, the only difference of 1 year is 18 and 19, meaning Tom must be 19 and Jerry must be 18. This leaves only option B and C. Now, we know that Vernuk cannot swim because it is the only option left because he does not like freestyle nor backstroke. Our next question, Bill is 1 year younger than twice as old as his sister Caroline. The total of the age is 26. How old is Bill? In this question, let's use an algebraic equation to find out the answer. Let x represent Sister Caroline's age. So, Bill is 1 year younger than twice as old as his sister. So underline the key information, twice as old and is 1 year younger. So 2x minus 1 will represent Bill's age because he's twice as old but 1 year younger. And we must add this by x because x is representing Caroline's age. The total sum of the ages is 26. This is now a simple equation. So 2x plus x will give you 3x, which will be equal to 26 plus 1, which is equal to 27. X will be equal to 9. Now, the question is asking how old is Bill? We know 2x minus 1 represents Bill's age, so let's change x into 9 and calculate his age. 2 into 9 minus 1 will be equal to 17. Therefore, Bill will be 17 years of age. Our next question. At a Halloween party, guests were asked to dress as an object that represented their profession. Quinton, Rachel, Sarah, Thomas, and Ulysses were among the guests invited. Their costumes included a flower, a pencil, a spoon, a camera, and a stethoscope. Their respective professions included a florist, a teacher, a chef, a photographer, and a doctor. Males: Quinton, Thomas, Ulysses. Females: Rachel and Sarah. Neither Rachel nor Sarah were dressed as a spoon. None of the men are doctors. Thomas is dressed as a camera. Sarah is a florist. Which person is dressed as a stethoscope? Now, in the question, we know that none of the men are doctors, so we can cancel out all the males' names. Now, we know the doctor wears the stethoscope, so it is either Rachel or Sarah. We know Sarah is a florist, so our final answer must be Rachel. Now let's try a more numerical question. There are 3 series of weighted balls. Each ball of the same color has the same weight, and each ball of a different color has a different weight. 5 green balls, 4 red balls, and 3 orange balls have weights of 46 kilograms. 4 green balls, 3 red balls, and 3 orange balls have a weight of 39 kilograms. What is the weight of 5 green balls and 5 red balls? In this question, let's write down 2 equations. Let x represent our green balls, let y represent our red balls, and let z represent our orange balls. We know we have 5 green balls, so 5x, plus 4 red balls, so 4y, plus 3 orange balls, 3y, will be equal to 46 kilograms. Our next equation, 4 green balls, so 4x, plus 3 red balls, plus 3y, and 3 orange balls, plus 3z, is equal to a weight of 39 kilograms. Now, we can simultaneously solve these 2 equations. Let's use elimination and minus the first equation from the second. So this will leave x plus y with the 3z and 3z cancelling out will be equal to 46 minus 39, which is equal to 7. Now, we know we must find the weight of 5 green balls and 5 red balls. So, we can simply times x plus y by 5 and 7 by 5, which will give you a total weight of 35 kilograms. Our next question is, Rayhan, Nico, Timmy, and Nelson are sitting around a square table with each person on one side of the table. They are each reading a different book: Del Toro Quest, Life of Pi, Rogue, and Holes. Timmy is seated opposite Nelson. The person opposite Rayhan is reading Rogue. Nico is to the immediate left of Nelson. The person to Rayhan's immediate right is reading Del Toro Quest. Which of the following statements must be true? So we know they are sitting around the square table, so let's draw up our square table. Now, we know Nico is to the immediate left of Nelson. So let's show this in our diagram. Nico will be to the left of the position Nelson is sitting. Now, we know Timmy is seated opposite Nelson, so let's write up Timmy opposite Nelson. and that leaves Rayhan in the final position. The person to Rayhan's immediate right is reading the Torah quest. This means that Timmy must be reading the Torah quest. Now, let's go through the options. Rayhan is reading Hoz. We do not know if this is 100% true. The person to Nelson's immediate right is reading the Torah quest. No, Rayhan is not reading the Torah quest. Nelson is reading Life of Pi. We are not 100% sure if Nelson is reading Life of Pi. The person to Nico's immediate left is reading the Torah quest. This is true because Timmy is on the left of Nico. Now, let's try our final question for today. There are 4 different types of flowers in a field: roses, pansies, tulips, and daffodils. Roses have at least 4 red petals. Pansies have at least 2 leaves, may contain thorns, and have yellow petals. All tulips have a long, narrow stalk, and some of them lack petals. Daffodils have no thorns and have an average of 20 petals. Which of the following is certainly false? For these types of questions, we can straight away go to the options. Pansies have fat stalks. In this case, this might be true as it is not stated in the question that it is 100% false. All flowers with leaves are pansies. Now, we do not know this because pansies have leaves, and also the other flowers may have leaves, but we are not 100% sure that this is false. Apart from daffodils, all flowers have 5 petals. Daffodils average 20 petals, but also roses have at least 4 red petals. So this is certainly false. Therefore, our final answer is C, and this is correct. That concludes part 2 of Ucat Decision Making. Tune in my next video of part 3 where I'll go through more complex questions. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video.